You don't necessarily need a massive pickup truck to enjoy a comfortable travel trailer in retirement. But here's the catch. The number printed on the trailer's brochure doesn't tell you the whole story, and getting that wrong is exactly how people end up with a truck that's overwhelmed and a trailer that never leaves the driveway with confidence. A lot of retirees want to travel without hauling a huge rig around the country. Smaller trailers are easier to maneuver, easier to park, and easier to live with day-to-day, less stress backing into a tight site, less fuel burned getting there. But lightweight doesn't mean tow anything with any SUV. The actual numbers matter, and we're going to get into exactly why. Today we're looking at 5 lightweight travel trailers I'd seriously consider for retirement travel in 2026. I'm Roadside Randy, helping everyday Americans make smarter decisions about RVs, trucks, and life on the road. Let's start with number 5. Number 5. Scamp 16. If your idea of retirement travel is keeping things simple and spending more time outside the trailer than inside it, this one deserves a look. The Scamp 16 is a molded fiberglass trailer built in Minnesota, and it's about as light as a real travel trailer gets. The standard 16-foot Scamp starts around 1,900 pounds, has a 3,500-pound GVWR, and a starting hitch weight of about 200 pounds. That puts it within the towing range of a much wider variety of vehicles, but your specific vehicle's payload and towing ratings still have to be checked before you buy. Inside, you're working with about 13 feet of living space, a rear bed, a small kitchenette, and depending on the floor plan, either a corner bathroom with a shower or a simpler wet bath. The molded fiberglass shell reduces the number of exterior seams compared with many conventional travel trailers, which can simplify exterior upkeep, although it still needs regular inspection like any RV. The biggest advantage here is how little trailer you're actually managing. Easy to tow, easy to park, easy to store, and not much that can go wrong mechanically because there isn't much to it. The honest downside is space. This is a small trailer, full stop. Storage is limited, the bathroom is compact, and if you're picturing somewhere to comfortably ride out a rainy afternoon indoors, this isn't really built for that. Who should buy it? A retired couple who wants the lightest, simplest possible setup and plans to spend most of their time outdoors rather than inside the trailer. Would I put my retirement money into it? For the right couple, yes, but only if you already know simplicity matters more to you than living space. If you're finding this useful, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. It genuinely helps this channel keep making these videos. But easy towing isn't the only thing that matters. If you're going to spend real time inside the trailer, interior comfort starts to carry a lot more weight in the decision. Number 4. Intech Sol Horizon. This next one takes a different approach. Lightweight construction without feeling like you're stepping down into a stripped-out camper. The Sol Horizon is built on a fully welded aluminum cage frame. The wall construction uses fiberglass over Asdel composite rather than a conventional wood-backed wall structure, which eliminates wood as a potential source of rot in those wall components. Depending on the specific build, dry weight runs somewhere between roughly 3,100 and 3,500 pounds, with a GVWR of 4,000 pounds and a tongue weight in the range of 465 to 495 pounds. That leaves genuine cargo capacity in the range of 500 to 600 pounds, room for actual gear without immediately maxing out the trailer's payload. The floor plan puts a real queen bed in the rear, a wet bath in the middle, and a U-shaped dinette up front that converts into an oversized bed if you ever need it. Intech includes details you wouldn't expect at this size: solid surface countertops, soft close cabinetry, a panoramic front window that makes the interior feel noticeably larger than the floor plan dimensions suggest. The advantages here are build quality and interior comfort that punch above the trailer's weight class, along with a GVWR that stays capped at exactly 4,000 pounds even at maximum load, which gives you a clear number to work with when matching it to a tow vehicle. The honest downside is price. This isn't the least expensive trailer in this weight range. Intech positions the Sol line as a step above entry-level lightweight trailers, and the wet bath means your bathroom and shower share the same compact space. Who should buy it? A couple who wants a well-built, comfortable trailer without moving up into a heavier weight class and who's willing to pay for that combination. Would I put my retirement money into it? Yes, especially for a couple who wants quality construction and doesn't need bunk space for grandkids on a regular basis. Now, before we get to the next three, there's one towing mistake I want you to avoid. The dry weight isn't necessarily what you're towing down the highway. Once you add water, propane, batteries, food, clothing, tools, and your other gear, the weight goes up. That's why I don't want you comparing a trailer's dry weight to the maximum tow rating printed in your truck's brochure and calling it good. You need to look at the trailer's GVWR, the actual hitch weight, your vehicle's payload capacity, passengers and cargo, and the manufacturer's towing requirements together. A vehicle can have a high tow rating and still run out of payload before you ever reach that towing limit. That's the number I want you paying attention to as we go through the rest of this list. Number 3. Casita Spirit Deluxe. If you want fiberglass simplicity, but with a bit more room than the Scamp offers, this is worth a look. The Spirit is a 17-foot, two-piece molded fiberglass trailer with a starting weight of about 1,950 pounds and a 3,500-pound GVWR. The fiberglass shell has no seams to fail over time, and Casita builds the flooring as fully encased composite rather than wood, so there's nothing underfoot that can soften or rot with age. Despite the compact footprint, the Spirit Deluxe trim, the version with the more spacious bath and shower, still gives you a full galley, a private shower and toilet combination, and close to 50 cubic feet of storage, more than you'd expect looking at the outside of the trailer. The advantages are easy towing, straightforward maintenance thanks to the fiberglass construction, and enough interior comfort that it doesn't feel quite as minimal as the Scamp. The honest downside is still interior space. It's more livable than the Scamp, but it's still a small trailer, and if you're planning extended trips of several weeks or more, storage for that much gear becomes a real consideration. Who should buy it? A retired couple who wants a step up in comfort from the smallest fiberglass trailers without giving up easy towing and low-maintenance ownership. Would I put my retirement money into it? For a couple who wants that balance, yes, this is one of the more sensible options in this size class. For some retirees, less trailer really does mean more freedom, less to tow, less to park, less to maintain. But not everyone wants that trade-off, and the next trailer takes a noticeably different approach to lightweight design. Number 2. Rockwood Geo Pro. Here's something important before we get into this one. Geo Pro isn't a single trailer, it's an entire family of floor plans, and the weight differs meaningfully from one to the next. And this is where I want to be especially careful. When someone tells me they have a Geo Pro, that still doesn't tell me enough. I need the exact floor plan, because a 13-foot Geo Pro and a much larger Geo Pro can have very different weights and towing requirements. Take the G13LE as one example. It has a dry weight of 2,296 pounds, a GVWR of 3,784 pounds, a hitch weight of 284 pounds, and a payload capacity of 1,488 pounds. That's a light, easy-to-tow floor plan. But other Geo Pro floor plans run larger and heavier, with bunk beds, slide-outs, and features that push the weight up considerably. So if a Geo Pro is on your list, the first thing to do is find the exact floor plan and pull its specific numbers, not the numbers for a different one in the lineup. What makes Rockwood worth considering is that it feels like a more conventional travel trailer experience than the fiberglass options on this list. Real cabinetry, a more residential-feeling interior, and floor plans that range from very light and simple up to more feature-rich layouts with a bit more livability. The advantages are floor plan variety and a more traditional RV layout and feel. So if a fiberglass egg shape isn't your style, this gives you options within a similar overall weight range. The honest downside is that variety cuts both ways. You have to do your homework on the specific floor plan, because the weight and towing requirements can shift substantially across the lineup. Who should buy it? A retired couple who wants a more conventional trailer layout and is willing to compare the exact floor plan's numbers carefully rather than assuming the family name tells the whole story. Would I put my retirement money into it? For the right floor plan matched to the right tow vehicle, yes. But that qualifier matters more here than it does anywhere else on this list. If this list has been helpful so far, go ahead and hit like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you catch what's coming next, because number 1 might be the best balance on this whole list. And now we're at number 1. The trailer that I think solves a problem the 4 before it simply can't, giving you real interior livability without pushing the weight into territory that demands a much bigger truck. Number 1. Forest River R-Pod RP190. The RP190 earns the top spot because it manages to balance lightweight towing with a floor plan that actually feels like a complete home away from home, not just a compromise you're willing to accept. At about 20 feet 4 inches long, the RP190 has a published dry weight of 3,049 pounds, a GVWR of 4,770 pounds, a hitch weight around 370 pounds, and a cargo carrying capacity of about 1,721 pounds, with a 30-gallon fresh water tank. Forest River itself is clear that actual towing depends on your specific loading and towing setup, including GVWR, axle ratings, combined weight rating, and having adequate trailer brakes, not just the trailer's weight class. The floor plan puts a real queen bed up front, a rear bathroom with a separate shower and toilet, and a mid-kitchen with a slide-out that expands the living space considerably once you're parked. A U-shaped dinette gives you a proper place to sit and eat, and it converts into additional sleeping space if you ever need it. The kitchen includes a 12-volt refrigerator and a 2-burner cooktop, while the tankless water heater can provide hot water on demand rather than relying on a traditional small storage tank. The advantages here are real living space that doesn't feel like it's been squeezed down to hit a weight target, a slide-out that meaningfully expands the interior at camp, and a floor plan actually designed around how a couple lives day to day, not just how it photographs on a lot. The honest downside is that this is the heaviest trailer on this list, and the slide-out adds a system that needs occasional maintenance and inspection that simpler trailers without slides don't have. It's still light compared with most conventional travel trailers, but it's not in the same ultra-minimal category as the Scamp or the Casita. Who should buy it? A retired couple who wants real comfort, a proper queen bed, and a workable kitchen and bathroom, without stepping up into a trailer that demands a heavy-duty truck to pull it safely. Would I put my retirement money into it? Yes, and that's exactly why it's number 1. It gives you the best overall balance on this list between manageable towing and a trailer that actually feels comfortable to live in for weeks at a time. So here's how these 5 stack up. The Scamp is for the retiree who wants the absolute simplest possible setup. The Intech is for someone who wants lightweight towing without giving up build quality and comfort. The Casita is a step up in livability while keeping fiberglass simplicity and easy maintenance. The Rockwood gives you a more conventional trailer feel, as long as you check the specific floor plan's numbers instead of assuming. And the R-Pod earns the top spot by balancing real comfort with a trailer that stays reasonably manageable to tow. The best lightweight travel trailer isn't necessarily the one with the lowest number on the scale. It's the one that actually fits your tow vehicle, your travel style, your comfort requirements, and your budget. Before you buy any of these or anything else, check the real numbers, the GVWR, your vehicle's actual payload, the hitch weight, and how all of that adds up once you've loaded the trailer the way you'd actually travel. If you were choosing one of these 5 for retirement, which one would you take, and what are you towing it with? And if you already own one of these trailers, tell us how it's been treating you. Those real-world experiences can help someone else make a better decision than a brochure ever could. If this kind of practical RV research is useful to you, consider subscribing to Roadside Randy. I'm Roadside Randy, helping everyday Americans make smarter decisions about RVs, trucks, and life on the road. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.